From the moment the sun rises over the Namibe's stark ridges, life here is a lesson in endurance. I've stood on these sands at dawn, feeling the ground hum with heat even before the sun crests the horizon. In every rustle of grass and every shifting shadow, there is both danger and possibility. A female predator crouches in the steep walls of a gully, using the landscape not as mere background, but as a living strategy. To her, every ridge and rock is a partner in survival. Every twitch of an ear, a signal that could mean success or a week more of hunger. The male puku stands between her and her hunger, massive and seemingly immovable. To an inexperienced eye, he is an obstacle. But to her, he is a puzzle to solve. She slips silently, body low, hoping to remain just another part of the gully's texture. In these moments, I am reminded how much patience truly means in the wild, not mere waiting,
it is safe,
but a calculated stillness that balances hope and fear. And fear. Out on open sand, heat becomes an adversary in its own right. I've watched an impala explode into a sprint 65 kilometers per hour in a heartbeat and thought the chase was over before it began. But survival is not always decided by speed. The impala, dazed and disoriented after its escape, doesn't run because it's clever, but because it must. That miraculous twitch of life defies the simple narrative of predator and prey. It shows that instinct and raw will are as integral to nature as teeth and claws. Formidable even, but it is the pups who draw danger.
The second jackal attacks from the blind side.
A hyena
the
and
hyena
her family
is
for
surrounded.
Days. Patience is not just strategy, it's survival doctrine.
The animals are but tiny specks, vulnerable in the face of the scorching heat.
And fall behind.
The hyena continues its lonely march, fur matted, endurance tested.
It trudges on, driven by the need to feed its cubs, hidden in a distant den.
Leaving the jackals behind, the hyena
Mother
moves
seals
steadily
guard their
across the
young
harsh
ferociously,
terrain, a
yet
solitary figure
eventually
in
they
the
must
vast
cool
desert
off in
morning.
the ocean. Leaving their vulnerable offspring exposed. This dynamic tension between care and necessity tells a deeper story about parental sacrifice in the animal kingdom, a story that repeats in different forms among many species, and raw will are as integral to nature as teeth and claws. Yet even in this forbidding landscape, life clusters in astonishing abundance. Along a barren stretch of sand lie tens of thousands of Cape fur seals, a riot of noise, smell, and movement. Adults are robust. Formidable even, but it is the pups who draw danger.
Brutes.
A single pup could feed a hyena and her family for days. Patience is not just strategy, it's survival doctrine. Mother seals guard their young ferociously, yet eventually
The
they
hyenas
must cool off
regroup,
in the ocean,
looking for an
leaving
easier
their vulnerable
target.
offspring exposed. This dynamic tension between care and necessity tells a deeper story about parental sacrifice in the animal kingdom, a story that repeats in different forms among many species. But finding food is only half the battle. A kill must be defended, carried. Converted into sustenance. Jackals wait, not far from the coast.
The wind blows across the sand dunes, creating ripples.
Drawn by the promise of scraps, if a hyena loses her catch, her cubs go hungry. In the sweltering desert interior, jackals retreat where they can. Coolness dictates movement as much as hunger does.
It scuttles across the surface briefly, leaving a trail of footprints.
The mole dives back underground, disappearing completely.
In watching these long treks, I sense that the desert's greatest lesson is not scarcity, but balance.
Repeats the stealthy approach.
The balance between energy spent and energy gained, between risk and reward. On the Ashri Plains nearby, the annual birth explosion of wildebeest calves begins. In just 3 weeks, half a million calves are born 24,000 a day. A 1,000 an hour. Life seems almost industrial in scale, yet each newborn faces individual peril.
The cubs run through the tall grass, chasing each other's tails in the golden light.
Within minutes of birth, they stand, then walk, and run an almost cinematic sequence of rapid development I've never grown tired of watching. A calf that cannot run will not live. This brutal
Suddenly,
rule is
a
both
spotted
heartbreaking
hyena appears
and
on the bank
awe-inspiring.
above, looking
These
down
plains
intently
support
at
the
the cheetah
greatest array
below.
of hunters the planet
tension
knows.
is palpable.
Each predator lion.
The leopard abandons the kill and scrambles up the opposite bank to safety.
Hyena, cheetah, wild dog brings its own technique, but all share a common goal: to exploit the fleeting abundance of life here. Heat presses from above.
Blacktip's pack, being larger, charges forward aggressively.
Influencing behavior as much as hunger does, many animals remain hidden by day, emerging only when the air cools. Night is not restful. It is a second sunrise of activity. Creatures appear from darkness with silent intent. Among them, the desert's most mysterious hunters,
Rain begins to
the
fall,
golden mole.
washing the dust from the dogs' coats.
No larger than a ping-pong ball and totally blind, moves like
It
an
retreats
enigma
into a
beneath the
rock
dunes.
crevice to escape
Its head
the coming
acts
heat.
as a vibration amplifier. detecting the faintest movement above. To locate prey, it paradoxically thrusts its face into sand so dry and seamless it resembles water in motion. I've watched these tiny animals work at night, and each time I am struck by how evolution crafts ingenuity where we least expect it.
The ants bypass the dead spider, focused on their prize.
They navigate obstacle courses of pebbles and grass stems.
One ant starts to slow down, overheating. It finds a grass stalk to climb. Climbing the stalk cools it down by getting away from the radiant heat of the sand.
Once cooled, it drops back down and rejoins the foraging line. They drag the food inside, disappearing underground.
The last ant scuttles in. The surface is empty again.
Blind yet precise, small yet unyielding. Even the lion's story here is a study in resilience.
With meticulous effort, the fog beetle ascends the steep incline, searching for the morning mist at the crest.
It does a headstand to catch moisture from the incoming ocean fog. Water droplets form on its back and roll down into its mouth.
A pride surrounded by migrating wildebeest may seem powerful, yet most hunts end in failure. Follow a lioness like Charm as she leverages her hind legs to unbalance prey, and you see hunting not as brute force but a choreography of energy, timing, and cooperation. When young cubs cannot hunt for themselves, sometimes for up to a year, the pressure on mothers like Sienna and Charm becomes relentless. They hunt around the clock. Always measuring risk against necessity. Life in the Namib is not only measured in moments of hunt and flight, but in territorial clashes. Take Blacktip and Tate. Two packs at odds.
In the distance,
Territory
the short
defines
figures of the
access to
hyena pack
water,
begin to emerge
shade,
from the tall
food,
grass.
the essentials. When Blacktip's pack outnumbers her mother's, the ensuing battle reshapes family lines and forces retreat into even harsher terrain.
Compelled, he had to sit flat on the ground, lowering his hips to protect his only weakness.
These conflicts reveal that dominance is not just physical strength, but strategic adaptation to shifting conditions. On the micro scale, the world teems with survival dramas.
Returning to the scene, Red is weakening, his head bowed down, surrounded by gaping mouths.
The sky gradually shifts to orange and purple, signaling that a long day full of upheaval is about to end.
Hot rod ants stride across sand, heated to 70 degrees Celsius, lifting their bodies above the burning surface because movement trumps stillness. Elsewhere, antlions lie in wait in cone-shaped pits.
Spy hippo also stops, motionless, to observe this strange behavior.
Underwater, the hippo demonstrates a unique ability. It seals its mouth tightly, expelling the trapped water directly through its auditory canals.
Tiny predators use venomous pincers and sand avalanches trap unsuspecting ants. A sobering reminder that danger comes in all sizes. Climate change casts a broader shadow over these tales of heat
They
and
stand
survival.
leaning their tails on the
Aldabra's
ground,
giant
their
tortoises,
hands
ancient
dangling in
mariners
front of their
the
stomachs,
islands,
their
may soon
heads
lose
turning
their
like
refuge
radar.
to rising seas. Even the most enduring species face new threats.
It recognizes the smell of plastic and metal instead of the enemy's raw flesh.
The desert teaches that adaptation is constant, yet today that adaptation must accelerate in the face of human-driven change beyond the dunes. The savannah pulses with stories of family and resilience. A lone buffalo charge can save cubs from marauders. A pair of male lions can turn the tide against a much larger pack of hyenas. These moments reveal cooperation's true power in a landscape shaped by competition, underwater.
A large herd of elephants has gone down to the flooded swamp area, their backs like grey rocks in a blue sea.
I have watched hippos interact with Barb's fish that act as cleaners, nibbling wounds and parasites. It's an unexpected symbiosis. Kind of natural clinic that unfolds beneath the surface, showing that even the fiercest animals participate in fragile networks of mutual benefit. Meerkat communities reveal another layer of complexity.
The whole herd managed to climb up the opposite bank, standing there shivering, water pouring down from their soaked bodies.
Sentry duty, childcare cooperation, and self-sacrifice for the greater good. When a spy cobra appears,
as Zawadi nuzzles close, her mother provides a steady,
the
cooling
colony's
breeze with
response
her
tells a
massive
story
ears,
of social
offering
cohesion
comfort in
and
the
shared
heat.
risk. A unity that resonates with human audiences precisely because it mirrors our own social instincts. In the swamps and forest edges,
Zawadi waddles with a majestic demeanor, his trunk swinging arrogantly at the air.
elephant families navigate treacherous terrain, teaching their young the rules of behavior through play and discipline. A lost calf, overwhelmed by fear. Becomes a poignant
Matt's
symbol of
tusks are
vulnerability
thick and
the
scratched,
importance
a
of
testament
guidance.
to the hundreds
Tracking
of battles
teams
he has
following
fought.
elephants like Matt reveal another world, one where science, technology, and respect for animal agency intersect. The quest to understand mating behaviors, movement patterns,
The herd moves in a single file line, an ancient migration across the lush plains
and social
in search of
hierarchies
water.
adds depth to what might otherwise be simple observation. Across continents, survival narratives shift but share common threads. In the Arctic, caribou migrations span hundreds of miles, a testament to endurance against stunning odds.
The
Rivers,
reddish-brown
swollen
patches
with
on the
meltwater,
elephants' backs
wolves
stand out
seeking
vividly
the weak.
against the deep green backdrop of the vegetation.
And bears prowl along the margins. Each challenge shapes a journey whose end brings rejuvenation and rebirth as grasses sprout and life renews. In every corner of this vast natural tapestry, I am reminded of one truth. Survival is never singular. It is a convergence of instinct, environment, strategy. And sometimes, sheer fortune. These stories, woven together, create not only a documentary of life, but a deeper meditation on being alive in a world that demands both resilience and adaptability.
Adult elephants stand around eating grass, forming a protective circle of safety for the young.
Meet the tuskless matriarch. Her survival depends on her intimate knowledge of this landscape.
Zawadi, just a few weeks old, finds comfort in the familiar sense of the grassland, though a sense of vulnerability remains.
These young orphans require significant support to thrive. Their future depends on the care provided by the sanctuary and its dedicated donors.
Scientists are discovering new adaptations in these herds, revealing an intelligent, hypersocial species. Driven by instinct, the herd begins its journey, traveling with purpose across the vast savannah in search of water. These elephants, fitted with satellite collars, demonstrate the sheer effort required to cross the river at this point.
A lone wolf. wolf is seen again, chasing the group. But this time, the caribou group together. The wolf looks for a weaker individual. "10 days left to calving.
The herd reaches the base of the mountain. Now the real challenge begins. A strenuous climb through the deep snow.
The mountain route, as it is known, presents a unique challenge to those attempting the crossing in these conditions.
Lower down the slope, the bear watches the migrating herd traverse the frozen river. An opportunity may soon arise.
Moving closer now, the wolf exemplifies perfect stalking behavior. Silent and focused, it navigates the rugged terrain undetected.
Further upstream, the herd reaches the river once more. They must now find a safe place to cross the treacherous currents.
It is wider here, but still fast.
Driven by instinct, the caribou push onwards, facing the freezing current with unwavering determination.
The strong current threatens to sweep them away, but the herd pushes onward, proving the crossing, though treacherous, is manageable.
it enters the water again to cross a small channel. Bravery born of desperation.
As the main herd navigates the icy waters, the yearling sprints ahead, determined to rejoin the safety of the group.
What we are witnessing is the immense power of El Niño, a vast ocean.
This is the Chobe River floodplain, fed by the winding river, vibrantly green.
This is Socks, and these are the members of her immediate family group.
How do the animals know where to go in such a featureless place?
Scientists still do not understand how they navigate.
It was previously assumed that these routes were learned and passed down.
Erected in the 1950s and 60s, these veterinary fences dramatically altered the landscape. Erected for livestock disease control, the fences inadvertently blocked the migration routes crucial for the region's wildlife.
The fence line prevents the annual movement of thousands of animals across the landscape.
Decades passed with several zebra migrations blocked.
When fences were removed, the migration started again immediately. They used the exact same routes as in the past.
Across the green earth, these paths branch out like veins, evidence that the ancient routes are still very much in use.
No living zebra had ever made that journey before.
Such instinctive behavior, this immediate bond and protection, is not learned, but hardwired from birth.
An extraordinary mystery.
The herd continues its migration across the plains, their movements closely tracked as part of recent behavioral research. Scientists believe knowledge of the route is preserved in their genes. Remarkably, these elephants can sense the rain from as far away as 280 kilometers. While seemingly still, the elephants are detecting low-frequency sounds, communicating across the vast landscape.
As they cool themselves in the watering hole, they are also capable of detecting distant storms.
Zebras can't hear low frequencies like elephants, but have evolved their own detection methods.
But for now, the Chobe zebra are still staying put.
Local showers have arrived, but something stops them from migrating.
Data shows they feed on nutrient-rich grass in burnt areas during the day.
They return to the safety of the open plains at night. As the others continue their journey west toward the fading light, one question remains. Why does Socks refuse to follow?
Questions if she misread the cues.
It's becoming clear that the zebra's decision-making process is far more complex.
She is alive, well, and yet to give birth.
But this is the information the satellite data couldn't provide, the intricate way the herd navigates the dense, tall grass of the savannah floor.
It's also clear that there are only 3 zebra. As the small group moves deeper into the bush, one must wonder, where is the rest of the family? Where is the protective stallion?
Without his protection, they are in danger of predation. Her last known position is 40 kilometers from Exaipan.
The morning after the heavy rains.
The zebra start to arrive. Janet's family is the first to be seen. In Chobe, Janet was part of a group of 15. But now, there seems to be only 5.
Hopefully the others haven't succumbed to exhaustion or predation.
Soon, all the other families are pouring into the park.
The next collared female to arrive is Spirit.
When Spirit eventually left the group, she was already pregnant. Unmistakable marks left by lions. One young foal looks to have had a very narrow escape. But the departure of the herd only deepens the mystery surrounding the zebra that vanished here without a trace.
Following the failure of Sock's collar, the team doesn't know if she made it.
Gives the team a chance to check if she's here.
Socks has made it.
The last time she was spotted, she was traveling with just 2 other zebra.
Now she's in a group of 10.
Socks appears to be in good condition.
Confirms she is in the company of a stallion.
But there is no sign of her having a foal.
Her new foal is so small, it must have been born in the last day or 2.
Just in time for Socks to feed on the nutritious new grass.
This ensures the foal receives the best possible milk, rich in vital nutrients.